Hi everyone, it's the EnglishSimmer here, and I know this has been out for a couple of days now, but I wanted to quickly run over the base game update with you all because there is actually a feature that I have been desperate for in The Sims 4. It took almost 10 years for us to get it, but it's finally arrived in Create a Sim. So I felt that because I've gone on about it for so long, it would only be right for me to make a video about it. But before we get into that, I do quickly want to help out those of you who may be suffering with the same glitch when it comes to the EA app and also loading up your Sims game that I'm facing. Whenever I click it doesn't launch, and also if I go to press The Sims 4, the preparing game comes up and then literally doesn't go away. So I'm going to show you how to fix that today. So if you go to Task Manager, then what you can do is click on EA. You have to end that task, but that's not the only one that you end. That will remove the preparing game. I usually have this by alphabetical order so that I know exactly where EA is, but you have to go to EA background service. You have to click on that, and then you also have to end the task of EA background service. And then once you've done that, you can exit out of your task manager, you can go back to the EA app, and it should load up all correctly. And then again, if you just want to load up your game, it should work and shouldn't get stuck in preparing. But of course, we're mainly here to talk about the base game update. So this came out on the 23rd. Obviously, in Create a Sim, we have romantic boundaries. You can choose whether your sim becomes jealous from their partner taking part in non-physical romance with other sims that aren't you, if they become jealous if they partake in physical romance, and then also if they become jealous if they partake in woohoo. This kind of opens it up to multiple partners and being able to share love with multiple partners without actually having any jealousy tied to it. However, it doesn't unlock multiple people in woohoo or multiple people on dates. You can actually go on a date and then invite someone else, but you can't partake in date activities with them. And then also, is your sim open to changing the factors that cause them to become jealous? If you choose yes, it means that Sims can be asked in live mode to reconsider their feelings surrounding jealousy for the settings above. The defaults of all of these will be yes, which is pretty much exactly the way that it works. Sims felt jealous no matter what. Obviously, Sims with a jealous trait felt more jealous, which I also want to test out in this video because I haven't tested that yet. We also have hide relationships. So now in your relationship panel that comes up down here, you can just choose to hide. There is a confirmation every single time you go to hide someone, which I wish there wasn't. I wish you could click please never ask me this again, because if I'm hiding a relationship, I probably want to hide the relationship. They did also make more gender neutral language when it came to husband, wife, fiance, and boyfriend and girlfriend. Husband and wife are now spouse, fiance is engaged, and boyfriend, girlfriend are partner. I personally have always wanted this. However, they have actually just got rid of boyfriend and girlfriend and husband and wife. I personally always think more choice is better, so I kind of wish they hadn't fully removed, but obviously I have been asking for more gender neutral language when it comes to even siblings and family relationships. We have them right now for romantic relationships. I would have liked it if they had just let us have all of them, and then obviously just kind of maybe add these as extras, but that also could have been difficult in programming. I'm not gonna pretend that I know if that was easy or not, but I also feel a little bit guilty about this because I feel I in past videos have said I would like more gender neutrality to these terms, and I feel I haven't ever really said I would want them just added. I haven't really defined that. Also, you can never set boyfriend and girlfriend, obviously now partners, a relationship in Create a Sim. You can now do that, which is great. So you can already have a pre-existing partner who isn't engaged and aren't married yet, but they are in a relationship. They introduced new eyelashes. I will be giving all of my thoughts on those eyelashes when we hop into Create a Sim. They now have their own category. Some eye shapes have eyelashes as part of them. Now Sims can have separate eyelashes applied independently from the shape of the eye. And since they're in their own category, they're also compatible with other accessories such as glasses and piercings. The base game includes 2 styles of lashes for a more dramatic look, and then there's also 2 more styles, a full set and then just a top set coming in The Sims 4 Love Struck. This is the one that I have been gagging for pretty much since CreatorSim began all those years ago. We can now copy and paste assets from any part of our sim, any outfit, onto other outfits. Oh my goodness gracious me. We're gonna do a little bit of a deep dive on this because I kind of want to show you how it works without like speeding it all up in like a CreatorSim overview. This is going to be such a game changer for people who have like a lot of piercings, a lot of glasses and accessories, and also makeup. We look forward to any feedback you might have on this new feature so we can continue to improve it to meet your CreatorSim needs in the future. Keep that in mind. I mean, SimSteam, I'm just saying, I have a whole video of why it feels like CreatorSim is falling behind in comparison to the rest of the game. So if you want to go check that out, feel free. 3 new hairstyles. So these are the 2 that like the team worked on. This is only tagged as feminine, which honestly it feels so rude because it looks also so good on masculine sims, just as a heads up. Then we have this little ponytail, and then we also have the collaboration with Dark and Lovely and Ebonics with this incredible hairstyle with 2 color variants of the new lock braids. This looks impeccable in the game. There's also new base game nails, French tips, coffin nails, and neutral palettes. Finally got curved pools. I've seen some builders doing incredible things already with curved pools. I kind of want to have a go at it, but I feel like I'm going to be absolutely atrocious because we all know how I practically fall apart in build mode. There's a new relationship like interaction pie menu in live mode. This is obviously very, very helpful if you do get your hands on Lovestruck, because this is where you can like ask about Sim's attraction. It's not also just like romantic relationship, it's also like ask to join household, become best friends. There's safe music streaming, which is great for those of us who make content surrounding the Sims. We got 2 new available options when it comes to neighborhood stories. We got friendship changes and romance changes. Enables Sims in other households to start and end those types of relationships on their own. You can use the mailbox each day to check recent neighborhood stories. They've also done some updates to this top panel, which I actually didn't notice in my early access. I'm gonna link these patch notes down below if you want to go check them out. I know that people were annoyed about toddlers not receiving the top notch trait, so that is back. Sims who are not part of the date interrupt conversations left often. That is true. It's like happens left often, but I was still noticing it happening in Lovestruck. I still wish that you could just like tell them to like leave the conversation easily. Sims in a relationship will no longer receive unsolicited autonomous flirtations from other Sims. Again, that was like slightly annoying when I played it because it would trigger jealousy sometimes. But then at the same time, I did feel like it caused some drama, and you could just like apologize to your significant other if you didn't want to go for that storyline. Married Sims no longer want to flirt with Sims who are not their spouse. It just feels like they're like, no, you are not going to have any autonomous cheating or flirting. Now ask ghost Sims on dates. Very important bug fix. Sim can now learn about another Sim's financial status in the get to know interaction for all you sugar babies out there. He is probably like the player in this situation, but him saying no means that he's not really like affected by it. Obviously, if I wanted him to be kind of a player without having jealousy from her, I would also say no to all of her things, but I kind of want the drama. So he is still going to be a player, but obviously those are kind of towards his romantic partners. Like anyone that he has a romantic relationship bar with, he will or won't feel jealousy. I am gonna say non-physical doesn't make her jealous, just because I want to see how she reacts because she has the jealous trait. I'm wondering if it's like a minor reaction. I am also going to make these 2 partners, which is boyfriend and girlfriend traditionally in the game, and the new eyelashes section. This is what she looks like. Oh, they still kind of face the issue. I feel like when you choose certain eye presets, custom content eyelashes also do this. They like extend and they look even more dramatic than they usually look. And then this is the second version, which is kind of just like two little pieces. What is this interfering with? It looks like it's definitely interfering with something. But then if we also change her eyes to like ones that already have eyelashes, when you change it to the side, it now looks like they have double lashes. I don't know if they're ever gonna fix that. I don't know if they're gonna remove like the eyelashes on some of these eyes, but it does look a little bit ridiculous when you look at it from the side. It really doesn't look like too bad from the front. It's not the best thing I've ever seen. Like there's a little bit of a difference, obviously, when they like blink. You can kind of see it looks like they have two sets of eyelashes. I definitely still prefer custom content eyelashes, and I personally think if you had waited in base game so long for better eyelashes, I would have been disappointed with what we definitely got. If we actually go to her makeup, we can test out the apply to all. So let's go for something like completely rogue. This is the new copy button. You can actually just like choose to apply this to every single outfit. If you are in a subcategory, so right now we're in the subcategory of lip under makeup, it actually can apply all of that subcategory to every single outfit. So let's do that. They all flash green to let you know that it has been applied, and boom, she doesn't have any other of the makeup on, but she does have lips. I've always said it's easier to go through and take something off than it is to go through all of these and find it and add it, because obviously it will be highlighted. It's way more easier to see once you actually have it on. Whereas if you actually want to copy all of the makeup, you can go back to this like overarching. You can choose to apply makeup to all outfits, or you can use the drop down to just apply it to specific outfits. You could choose like most of these, you could only choose one. So say I wanted this, but then I was like, oh, I actually don't want this look on everyday wear, but I do want it on party wear. We can choose to apply it to party. Obviously she will be wearing it, and then we can go back and edit the everyday one. As long as you've applied it before you edit it, it won't change on the one that you've already applied it to. So this is still her party wear. We took that off for her everyday wear, and it's still applied to her party wear. This kind of goes for everything. So you can apply all accessories to every single fit. You can just apply all accessories to specific ones. Any one that you tick is the one that you will be applying it to. It's also much easier to like apply to everything and then actually go into accessories, apply it to everything, and then if you don't want them in sleepwear, you can either go through like by hand and find the ones that are highlighted and get rid of them, or you can just remove them all by pressing the X on piercings, and boom, that means that she's not wearing piercings in bed if you don't want to. Just a much needed quality of life update. I still think there's so many quality of life updates that are needed in the game. I actually want to do an updated video on them. This also just doesn't apply to like hair or accessories. This applies to literally everything. So you can apply tops, you can apply outfits. Sometimes I'll go into create a sim, I'll choose a really nice outfit, and then I'll halfway through, after I've like matched the makeup to it and everything, I'll be like, oh, I wish I was wearing this as my party wear or my hot weather fit instead of everyday wear. Now I can just apply it to that specific one and delete it from my everyday wear. It's just really, really nice, and I think it helps so much with remembering. I still would potentially like to be able to favorite outfits actually in this like styled looks, the ones that I use a lot, or like favorite items that I use a lot, so you can have like a favorites tab in Create a Sim. I really, really love this hair. I think it's so cute. It also works so well on masculine sims. I just really like it as a hairstyle. I do think it potentially has like a bit too much weight like here. It doesn't look bad from the front, but then when you change it to the side, it's like, whoa. It's not like over the top like a lot of Sims 4 hairs are. And then I think the other one is going to be an up to. I don't know if it's only tagged for masculine. I guess we will see. Tagged as medium, not an up to, even though it is tied up. This is what it looks like masculine. So that's good to know. I honestly really like both of these hairs. I think they have a really nice texture on them. They definitely look better than a lot of like base game hairs. Obviously, the newer ones always do. And then we have the Dark and Lovely hair, which I actually think is only tagged for masculine in the game. I can't see it listed as feminine, but I absolutely feckin' love this. Oh my god, it looks so good. It like flows so perfectly as well into facial hairs. I definitely hope that they work with Ebonix more. Any work that has come out of a collaboration between the team and EnglishSimmers has been incredible. Like the detail, obviously, it always helps when you have a person working on their own representation. Ebonix has been doing this for years, pretty much since The Sims 4 came out, making hairs, making custom content that shows representation of Black Simmers. Now we need more Afro textured and curly textured body hair and also facial hair that's available in base game. I'm gonna turn off literally everything but the romance changes. Sims may start romance and either nurture or damage them, and then Sims may make friendships and either nurture or damage them. Friendship is at 45, romance is at 40. Then obviously we do have this relationship panel. Now I have all of the expansions minus Love Struck right now, so this is everything that comes under it. You can view the relationship, which just brings up that panel, which is like their profile. If you go over here, then you can ask them about their romantic boundaries under learn more. You can ask to be woohoo partners or ask to just be friends. Ask about romantic interests, woohoo interests, break up, propose, science baby, and this is where you can like talk up or like get them to flirt or big up another sim or trash another sim if you want to. Assuming they've also had like their first kiss and stuff. Yeah, so they just have like kiss. Interested to see about woohoo as well. Let's actually go and woohoo with Justina. Fairly sure that will probably say like break out the candles. It's their very first woohoo. Yeah, there we go. First time woohooing. So even though they are partners, the game classes it that they haven't woohooed just yet. This little like compatibility that came with growing together has changed. The icon's just been updated kind of to match the attraction one a little bit more if you have both packs within your game. You are jealous, but you apparently don't have the romantic boundary of flirty talk. So let's go romance flirtation. We are gonna flirt. I want to see if you don't have like romantic. Oh, the flirting did not go well whatsoever. She didn't seem all that bothered, but that was probably because it didn't actually go well. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up. I'm getting frame rate drops like mad. This felt like it was kind of fixed after the last one. Also, all of these Sims are like practically glitching. Jesus Christ, why are there so many Sims in this neighborhood? I don't think I've ever seen somewhere so densely populated. She is not bothered about this whatsoever. It did say perhaps a minor reaction, but she's not having any reaction whatsoever, and she can very much see him flirting. So these are kind of the like non-physical romance. So maybe if we try and kiss her hands, look, she's like directly looking and thinking about him, but she's not having any reaction. In fact, this looks like it's making her flirty. But then if we kiss Dina's hands, this is when she's going to have the reaction. So the jealous trait, if you play around with the romantic boundaries, because obviously it says will not trigger jealousy, kind of overrides it. And she still reacts the same. She actually slaps because she's got the jealous trait. If you don't have the jealous trait, they actually won't have like that much of a reaction. They'll just like be huffing and puffing. Interesting to see that jealousy doesn't really play a role. It's kind of been knocked out a little bit by saying no to those romantic boundaries. And then if you click this, you can see the sentiments, how a sim feels about another sim based on recent past experiences. It has a powerful bond with Dina that is a source of strength and comfort. Also still having an amorous exchange. Let's see the gossip. Let's go check Lou and Rory have a more distant friendship. Makoa and Juniper have a more distant friendship. Okay, I mean, I think they just know each other because we were talking to both of them. I think that's the only reason. That Megumi and Shichiko have more of a distant friendship. Rahul and Agnes are more distant. Any romance? Probably not yet. Nothing of note has happened recently. Check back tomorrow. So no romance on the card yet for townies. I like that we have rounded pools. I think they look actually really, really good. I've seen a lot of people basically putting them on like raised platforms. I did see someone just build this up with like a foundation around it, like actually, so it looked like just a stand-up pool. You couldn't use it because it didn't have stairs. It just had like a pool ladder going into it, so it wasn't usable. But I think even just for like decoration, how people usually like size up cars, having curved pools is really nice because it just kind of looks like a self-standing paddling pool, even if you can't use it. If you swam laps fast enough in a pool like this, it would be a whirlpool. That's so fun. It does look a little bit silly when your sim is just swimming in it. I also really want to test the player trait, like the reward trait to the serial romantic, because I know people have asked me about that. So I'm just gonna click through all of these. There we go. He's completed the aspiration and he has player. Will never cause other sims to get jealous and no matter what they do. I imagine this also overrides the romantic boundary, but let's test this theory. So we will grab Dina, we'll invite her over to the current lot, and then we will obviously bring Justina over here as well. She is giggling away. It doesn't look like she was all that fussed. Let's kiss her hand. Yeah, she's having no reaction whatsoever. So the player trait definitely still overrides romantic boundaries. And we all know that Woohoo was against her romantic boundary, but she doesn't particularly care. She definitely just seemed to get a sentiment towards him. Furious about cheating and then also deeply wounded. I don't know if they're just like leftovers from seeing him yesterday that I didn't happen to notice, or if they've just popped now, even though he has the player trait. But there we have it. There's the base game update. Sorry that this video was a little delayed, but I hope it was helpful. I hope I also tested out some things that you lot wanted to see when it came to like seeing how far and like the conflicts between romantic boundaries. I was also interested in those things, so thank you for asking me those questions and getting me to play around with them a little bit. I honestly am quite impressed with this base game update. I'm just so glad. Honestly, I was never gonna tear this apart when it has one of my most requested features in. That copy button is gonna be a savior, and I could legitimately kiss every single one of the developers that made that happen. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope this video was helpful, and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye now.